I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with Father Ronald Ramson. He dishes up a spiritual feast in the book, Spiritual Hors d'oeuvres. Through this engaging collection, he blends personal anecdotes with profound insights, inviting readers to satiate their spiritual hunger and ponder deeper truths. We're delighted to have the Father join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him on the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Father, good to see you today, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here and see you, Logan.
It's good
Thank
to
you.
see. Oh, my pleasure. Good to see you. This is quite a book you've written. Where did you find the inspiration to write this?
I wrote this book some years ago when I was stationed at a seminary down in Dallas, Texas. Most of the book. I added some pieces since. I wrote a couple of books before this one. And I thought I wanted to write some pieces that came to me I thought were enjoyable, interesting, and applicable to one's life. Yeah. And short pieces. I've made about 70 videos since I've been here. And I found out that people don't like anything too long. So my pieces, you notice, are all short.
Yes.
About 2 pages or so. Yep. But my hope is that this are the appetizers, whet your appetite, dig in. Yeah. And try to apply it to your own life, no matter what your faith is, to inspire your faith, no matter what that faith is. So that's my hope.
Exactly. These are small dishes as opposed to big entrees, and they are a way to whet your spiritual appetite. Absolutely. What are some of your favorite works that are in there, sir?
Well, what I did is I have about 200 of them in here. Mm-hmm. And a couple of them, I just want to mention, like, the last 2 I wrote, I added, which I thought were I was really moved to do. One of our Vincentian priests, his name is Pedro Opeka. Mm-hmm. He's in Madagascar. He's been up for the Nobel Peace Prize about 5 times. And he wrote a letter to Putin, trying to tell Putin, get your act together, it's just stop this war.
Yeah.
And I met him one time, and I was just fascinated with him. He comes across as a very humble guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that in there. Yeah. And another one was one of the guys. I was in Kenya for a few years as a missionary. Mm-hmm. And we had a Kenyan sent here, a young guy who I had in Kenya. And he came over with liver cancer. Mm-hmm. And I was with him the moment he died. And I had to write about him. Mm-hmm. He was just a great example of his courage, of a man who knew he was at the end of his life. Mm. He's only been a priest 6 years. Not even 40.
Yeah, amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just to be with him, to see him. I used to go in there every day to talk to him. He was such an inspiration for me. I've been a priest for 64 years.
Wow.
But I said, wow. And so I was there the moment he died, I was with him. And those are two pieces, but the recent ones I wrote.
Right.
But a whole bunch of other things, there's different subjects,
Yeah, there's definitely something for everyone in there, addressing all different aspects of life, for sure. And you've lived a lot of lives. You've been a missionary. Tell me about your work as a priest. Were you a parish priest? Tell me how that worked.
Yeah, I started out in Pampa, Texas, mm-hmm. in the Panhandle in 1959. And I was just an associate out there. Mm-hmm. And it, your first assignment as a priest is like your first love. You don't ever forget them.
Yeah.
And I started the Guadalupanas there, and they wanted me to get a statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Mm-hmm.
So they started making tamales and enchiladas on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I bought them this gorgeous hand-carved wooden plaque for the church down there. It's still down there. And I found out just the other day, they're still making the tamales.
That's great. That's great.
And I'm sure most of those women are gone and other women taking the place, you know.
Right.
And then from there, I moved on to other parts, did other work. So vocation recruiter for our community. I've done that after that. And then I got into higher education, a rector of our seminary in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 9 years. I was with I've been involved with the St. Vincent de Paul Society for 60 years. And so I've done, as you said, Logan, I've been involved with a lot of stuff in my life.
You've had a lot of roles. Yeah.
But you know what? It's all added to my credibility, I think.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I've been through it. And I noticed that the younger people usually listen to me.
Yeah.
In Kenya, they used to call me Babu, which means in Kiswahili, grandfather, which is a term of endearment. So yeah. I'm Babu.
That's great. That's a high compliment for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's been the reception to your book, to the people you've shared it with?
Well, it just came out in the end of July.
Okay.
And I don't know how it's going right now.
Right.
I hope it takes off, because I think that the title is enticing. People go, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I ran this by some of my friends. What do you think? Going, wow. I said, you know, how did you ever come up with that title? I said, well, in Kenya, the Brits call them starters, you know.
Right.
Appetizers, starters. As you know, you probably know yourself.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I didn't want to call it appetizers. I was afraid that they would think this thing was a cookbook. You know,
exactly. Exactly.
I said, no, it's not a cookbook.
Exactly. How to Serve Man. It's a cookbook. Oh no, that's from the Twilight Zone. They find a book, How to Serve Man, then they realize halfway through it's a cookbook. So we don't want anybody thinking yours is a cookbook.
No,
yours is truly How to Serve Man. It's spiritual hors d'oeuvres.
It is spiritual hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. So it's nice that you're still able to spread the word of the Lord, of Jesus, through your writings. That must be very rewarding to you.
Well, it is. You know, it's I'm 91 years old.
Wow.
And they said, why are you doing this? I said, well, I still can. I'm still sharp.
Yep.
You know, I can't remember names in time sometimes, but
who can?
But I enjoy writing. I've been writing for years. I've written a lot of articles for various, and I got it in the books. I'm starting another book already.
Wonderful. What's that one about?
I think it's going to be the Mother of Jesus.
Oh, nice.
The one before this one, Logan, was on Put Your Hands into Hers. That's doing very well. Mm-hmm. That's on Mary. Right. And I found out in all these apparitions of Mary, she shows her femininity and her humanity in there. Mm. Well, you don't find that in the Bible.
Yeah.
You don't find her femininity in there.
Right.
You know, I tell people when I give talks, I said, every apparition, she wears something different. Yeah. Women love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, don't ask me how that happens. I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, we're looking forward to the release of that one as well. This book is called Spiritual Hors d'oeuvres. It is an engaging collection of personal anecdotes, profound insights. It is something that will whet your appetite to get you thinking about your own spiritual journey, to get you to reflect upon your own religion, your own faith. And that was the whole point of Father Ransom's book. And it succeeds in his efforts. Absolutely. Father, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Logan. It's great talking with you.
Great talking with you as well, sir. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.